For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Relationships and porn, that's what we're talking about this week. Now that I've got your attention, thanks for tuning in. That's seriously what we're talking about on the show today. I always chime in on people sharing too much on social media because I get a kick out of just how much of an open book people's lives are. And I've said many, many times on this show that I don't get it. I have no interest in putting everything about my life out there, but I also don't think my life is very interesting that you'd care to know what's happening. So as long as we're on the same page about that, I don't care what you're doing tomorrow, just as I don't think you care what I'm doing. We're even, okay? There we go. But I do have a couple people that I sort of follow on social media because they tend to share a lot. So when they're having relationship drama and things, I sort of get a kick out of it. I'll tell you a little bit more coming up in the next segment right after the break. And then also an Ask JB question from a listener who, this is kind of funny. I'll tell you the question a little bit, but basically somebody had spotted somebody they know in porn online. And I now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of funny. Did you just out yourself that you sit and watch porn? I mean, I guess people will fully admit that, what have you. But okay, anyway. So that's what's happening on the Scribble this week. Doesn't that tempt you enough? You are so ready for the next 30 minutes of time-wasting fun, and it starts right after this.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on the Scribble. Well, let's talk relationships again. I love watching from a distance because social media gives everybody this opportunity to broadcast everything that's happening in their life. And I have a story, and and you won't remember it because it was so long ago. But there's one person who I know from. Oh my God, I've got to think about this. How do I know him? I have known him for a very, very long time. I don't know if we met at a bar like 15 years ago or I don't know. How do I know him? God, I'm going to think on the spot here, everybody. Anyhow, he's one of these people who every, fight that he has in his relationship, every slight inconvenience in his day, every, just everything, just every is commented on, is posted, is, and for me it's fascinating because, I don't want to say that I take pride out of seeing, people's misery. I guess I sort of take pride in, you're sharing it with all of us, right? So in a way, you're wanting us to be an audience. Maybe you're wanting a sympathetic, ear or eyeballs because we're reading it. Maybe that's what you're wanting. You're wanting to rally the troops and get support. I'm one of those people who I'm just going to sit there and comment and go, wow, you're just a fuckhead. Like, seriously. So he was in a relationship not too long ago. I've got to think about how long ago this was when I told the story. Maybe earlier this year, or so, quite a while ago. And it was just like, every day. Now, the thing is that there's reports that, his boyfriend is cheating or is doing this or is stepping out or is creating dating profiles on apps and different things like that. And so every day, this person, I've got to just make up a name so that I don't keep just, okay, so the guy who I know, let's call him Tom, and I honestly don't even remember what the boyfriend's name was. So anyway, so we're calling him Tom, and really that truly is not his name. And so Tom would go and post about how, whatever, making up a name here, Alex. Tom would post about how Alex is cheating again. I should know better. This asshole has, done it to me time after time, blah, blah, blah. Well, then you know what? Leave the asshole then is what you need to do is kind of the whole thing, right? I mean, and so, it's one of those things where I almost kind of just wait. Like, at the end of the day, when I'm bored or if I'm going to bed, I just kind of want just entertainment. It's like, oh, what's going to be happening with Tom's life, right? Oh, I wonder how his day was to see. And you kind of just laugh at it because, again, you're posting that, you're wanting the audience, you're being the sideshow because you're sharing your drama with us, right? I mean, I'm not at fault for laughing and enjoying. I mean, you're putting it out there. And so, obviously things didn't work out in their relationship. They were on and off. It was like a Kardashian relationship, these cheating rumors, but then you take them back and then they cheat again and then you take them back again, then they cheat on you and, you have the breakdown. You rally the support from everybody that, you're too good for him, but then you go back to him. Again, just like a Kardashian does. So now I see that, let me do some quick math here. As I'm telling you this, I see his relationship status changed. Okay, I'm going to do the math. So his today is that. His relationship status changed for me here 24 days ago. In a relationship with such and such, okay? And so I see that because I'm just scrolling through his page. And earlier, right, because you see the most recent posts, right? So there's a couple here from a couple days ago where it says house is done and ready to move into the new place, which was 5 days ago. And then there was another post here that says apartment hunting and it's exhausting and whatever. And I'm sitting here going, wow. That's like less than a month in the relationship. Now, again, let me do full disclosure here. I don't know. Maybe they've known each other for a very long time and they've just only now made it official. Like, I don't know the background. But what I'm saying is, and this is where I always find it weird when people sort of, it's not official until it's on Facebook that it, my relationship or my job or whatever it is. Like, I don't get it. It seems like that's like a rite of passage now, is that we got together on, June 1st, well, it's got to be time stamped on Facebook that June 1st is there. And I sort of take that as, okay, that's when your relationship started. You're not thinking about going 4 days later and saying, oh, I'm in a relationship with Joe. I mean, you're probably putting it that same day because you're doing cartwheels that you're in a relationship. I find it very, very bizarre. And people rag on me for not putting, married to and then at, so-and-so or happily married, whatever. It's none of your fucking goddamn business. Like, stay out of my life, really. And I don't feel like I have an obligation to tell people because it's almost like you have to do that or else you're ashamed of your relationship, you're ashamed of your partner. No, how about we just say that some things are off limits? Like, I'll put on, the Facebook page or whatever stuff about, the dogs, my job, crap like that. The relationship is private. I just don't. And if people want to think they know what's happening, I don't give two shits what people. And this is where it's so funny because that's kind of what social media is all about, right? And somebody who does my job, I mean, I was on the radio for 15 years, I'm in the newspaper for 18 years, and this podcast for however long, and in books, and in the, like, it's just, who cares? Why is my relationship your concern, right? My relationship isn't brought into the radio show, or unless I'm telling a story about my partner or writing a column about it. But I've never done that. I just don't, because again, it's none of your business. So going back to what did I make up the name was? Dave, Tom is the person I know. Sometimes I feel some people are socially enabling. Lately, I have 10 people confronting me about me and Dan broke up. Knowing who said what is funny. Not happy in your own relationship? Don't ruin mine. I am perfectly happy. So again, like, this is coming. Let me check the date, the timestamp on this one. This was, today. Okay, so, 20-some days after you're in a relationship, if people are already gossiping and if people are already commenting on your relationship, then I would say, yes, maybe you need a new group of friends. Maybe you're not surrounding yourself, but then at the same time, don't put it out there. Don't put it out there, because here's what happens in my relationship. I have people will ask me, well, what's your husband's username on Instagram? What's your? We don't follow each other on social media. We have no connection to social media. I don't tag, like on Instagram. I'll randomly post pictures. We don't tag each other. We don't post. I don't even have them on my pages. It's separate. If my family members ask, or seek them out, they can seek them out. That's fine. But I've had people, email the radio show or whatever, asking, oh, what's your husband? You talk about he's a fitness model or whatever. I want to follow him. No, I'm not. If you find him, okay, fine. But I'm not going and saying here or follow. Like I don't do that. That's just not my thing. I don't know. It's just strange. And same thing about wearing a wedding ring. People go and say like, oh, did you guys break up? You're not wearing a ring. Excuse me, I do not have to answer to you. I hate jewelry. I don't like things that are. I've never liked a necktie. I don't like watches. I don't like things that are tight around my wrist or my neck. It's just a personal comfort thing. So I will wear it at certain times, or at the same time when I'm traveling, and if I just got off an airplane and I'm bloated and fat and I've got puffy fingers, it doesn't fit on my finger. Okay, well, it's not going to be on the correct finger or the socially acceptable finger. But you know what? Fuck off. It's none of your business. I don't really care what you think. I just don't. So I go back to now. This is where, again, I say when you put your relationship out there, as this person is as Tom is doing all the time, well, people are going to chime in. And then don't allow comments, then don't accept messages, then don't do any of that kind of stuff. But the fact is that you're giving us the play-by-play, apartment shopping or house shopping, whatever it said that post. You are including us in this. So you can't have it both ways. You can't go and tell us everything, and then all of a sudden when people offer up opinion or speculate or get involved or whatever, telling them to mind their own business or whatever, well, you're making it their business by including them in the discussion. And I'm sure if they, or house hunting or apartment, whatever it said, I'm sure we're going to see dozens of pictures the second that it's all done. And, now, when I bought my house, 13, I've never posted pictures of my house. You'll see the inside of it in the background when I, post a shot of the dogs or something, but I've never posted the outside of my house on social media. I didn't give this grand tour of here's my living room, here's this, here's that. I don't know. I'm so anti social media that I don't care. And I've said this before. I don't want you to care what I'm doing every minute of the day, and I will be upfront and honest with you that I don't care what you're doing every minute of the day. I really don't. And because maybe that's where we run into this issue. Now, first off, if I comment about, people in a relationship for less than a month already getting a house together and moving in, either you've got a lot of money, which, good for you, or there's just this desperation, I would say, to all of a sudden, start playing house. That's very, very quick. And so I kind of see it that way. Now, again, knowing this person for as long as I have and seeing, and I haven't followed or I haven't been paying attention to his Facebook ever since he it just really popped up. I didn't seek out the information. It was just I happened to scroll one day and I saw that he was having drama. I think in the last, and when did I start following him? Oh, God, that was probably maybe 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. Like I said, we've known each other for a very long time. I'm pretty sure it was from the bar days when I was 20, 21. So I've known of him, I guess is maybe the better way to say it. I've known of him for maybe close to 20 years at this point, and really had no interaction or contact with him for probably 10, 15 years. I would say that we're friends. I just, whatever. I would know him, I think, to see him in public. But I couldn't tell you, for instance, where I guess where he lives if he's moving. But I don't know what his job is. I don't know anything about that. So I can't say that we're friends. Nevertheless, in the 2 or 3 years that we've reconnected or followed or whatever on social media, I think he's had 3 relationships. The second one was the tumultuous, the guy's cheating, what have you. And then this most recent one, was a month ago. It seems, I don't know if it's for attention or what the deal is, but it's laughable to me. It really is. And that, you can go and say, well, Jeremy, you're a heartless dick when you're, laughing at people's misfortune or somebody's being hurt because of cheating or whatever. Well, you also have to sort of look at the situation. If he's saying that this person does it time and time again, well, then maybe you don't care about yourself first. Why, so I'm going to laugh at you if you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're just getting hurt. I mean, you're setting yourself up just to be heartbroken. I mean, that's on you, right? I mean, I think this is where the whole relationship thing has changed over the years. You've got the generation of like my parents, my aunts and uncles, our producer Bonnie Winter, all have been married for 30, 40 years. All got together before there was this whole social media thing. I guess the danger or the fear of it is people are always going to have the wandering eye because they're always being tempted by half naked hotties on social media with these selfies and things like that. Right? I mean, if you just avoid it, like we live in our own little bubble. That's the thing. I mean, people will often speculate or question or ask me things about the relationship, and I have no problem saying, well, it's none of your business, and I'll be direct about that. But we live in a bubble, which is kind of really nice, where there aren't a whole shitload of people included in it. I don't, we don't do. Double dates or like couples nights or game nights with other couples. Like it's just very low key. Each of us has friends. We don't do big groups of friends. We don't mix the friends from one side to the other. It's a very low key life. We live in sort of like this little private bubble, and it's just nice. My house is, I've got a big house, and it's very private. It's very closed up. We've got, high fence all around the property. The living room, the blinds are pretty much always closed. It's just a very, Now again, you have to remember that for 15 years I was on the radio, 18 years in the newspaper. People writing books for 10, 11 years. People know who I am in my city, so it's a little bit different, I guess, than others. And then because it is just a private relationship. I mean, sure, the neighbors probably speculate what's going on, and I have that in people all the time. Oh, I wonder who's the top, and I wonder who's the bottom. Oh, whatever. Well, you know what? Don't worry about it. I think, people who are close to me can sort of figure it out because, they know our personalities and shit like that. But, I mean, whatever. So, I guess I've taken up half the show now, again, talking about relationships and social media, but I ease up on your posting then. I would say have a good phone call when you have these situations. Like to me, I have no interest in texting. If I know that there's going to be like a back and forth text exchange for a very, very long, drawn out time, you're likely to see my name pop up on your. I'm just going to call you. Like I'm not thumbing out message after message. I'm not typing paragraphs on my phone. We'll call. We'll have a talk. We'll get together. We'll do something. But I think that's, again, I've talked about even friendships, just general friendships have changed over time. So send me an email. Tell me what you think. live@jbonair.com. We got to go. We'll be right back.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on the Scribble. Let's get to one of your questions, right? We've done this a few times, this whole Ask JB thing, because, well, I guess I'm an opinionated person, right? And you like hearing my sensibility or lack thereof, depending on what it is. Now, generally it's about relationships. I think that's what, people are often wanting advice about. So here's the letter here, or quick email. I spotted someone that I know in porn online. I'm not sure that it's supposed to be known by people we know that he's doing it. I want to say something, but it might be awkward. Do I tell them I saw their video or just leave it alone? Okay, so first of all, I guess the question that I always have for people, because we've had this thing about cheating or whatever, what are you wanting to gain from it? What is the ultimate purpose of revealing this information? So in this instance, I would say, are you wanting to have a discussion with the person about it? Are you wanting to embarrass them? Are you wanting to say, are you wanting to use this as blackmail and be like, hey, you know what? I saw this and I could tell everybody. So if you don't, and I'm not suggesting that's what you do, but again, what is the purpose of you? I don't even want to use the word confronting, because I guess it could be confronting if you're offended by it, but at the same time, if you're watching porn online, I don't know that you'd be, I would almost kind of just laugh it off, right? And it depends on, so I don't know here, let me see, I spotted someone that I know, so it doesn't really say that it's a friendship either. This is actually probably one of the shortest, what is it, like 3 sentences, 4 sentences? I don't know. Here's the deal, because I know that one of our models from Happy Bulge, our swimwear line, one of our models had reached out to me and said, I'm wanting to do one of those fan pages, where you get naked and people pay you or whatever it is. And I said, okay, cool. But he said he wants to market it to the gay community, but not in our city. So he doesn't want people that he knows finding it. And I said, but that's not how the internet works, though, So, and bless his heart, isn't that the saying? Bless his heart. He is amazing to look at, right? He's one of our models, as I said, but just doesn't have that business sense, right? Doesn't have that mindset. And so that was one of the things that I said to him, like, well, you can't really control that, because once it's out there, it's out there. Membership or subscription service or not, it's still there. I mean, you can't block one particular city from having access to it, And so in this instance, maybe this is almost the same scenario where, you don't know how long ago this video was made. You don't know what context. Was this a private video they made for somebody? Were they hacked? But at the same time, I think nowadays it's widely known that if you're performing for a camera that has access to the internet, or some technology that has access to the internet, it's reasonable that you could be hacked and it could be seen by people that you don't want it to be seen by. So, I guess that's kind of the question, right? What kind of a video is it? If this is like a hidden camera thing and you don't believe that they know that they are being recorded, and now we're talking something criminal, well, that's up to you. If you're a good person and you want to let this person know, hey, by the way, you're being exploited online. But I think that's taking it in a direction that this isn't really going. It just says, I spotted someone that I know in porn online. So I don't know if this was homemade stuff, if this was, but at the end of the day, if you're calling it porn online, meaning they're having sex or whatever it is that they're doing, again, it's reasonable to go and say, anybody can see this stuff. So maybe this isn't a topic of discussion that they bring up to the people that you all know, right? I'm not gonna bring this up at Christmas. Oh, hey, by the way, me and my husband did a fuck video online, and so I just wanted to tell you all that before you see it. No, it's just not what happened. I'm not that close with my family and friends. Maybe some people are that open, I don't know. But yeah, again, it goes back to, what are you wanting to gain from this? What is the purpose of mentioning it to this person that you saw their video online? Did you get off to it? Is that maybe what it is? Are you attracted to them now? Do you see what they're packing and you're kind of interested? I don't know. But anybody who's listening, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. See, why do you even ask me these questions? I'm just going to mock you now is what's going to happen. Send me an email, live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com. This one would have been a good one for Bonnie Winters, our executive producer. This would have made her blush. She absolutely will refuse to talk about sex stuff on the air. Even when we were doing the radio show, she would just not. She would shut right down. She would giggle and blush and have another sip of her wine. This one would be one that I would just come out and ask her. Bon, you see a friend or a coworker in a porn video, what do you say? Next time, I can't call her right now. I'm not allowed to. Anyway, send me an email, live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com. I just think that people are so open about getting naked on camera these days that it's really not as, is the word taboo? I don't even, it's just not as shocking anymore. Because, here's the deal. I don't spend much time on social media, but, I've seen on Instagram people that I follow or that follow me, and I go and I look, and all of a sudden there's a link to one of these pay porn, whatever you call them, sites. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, well, he's taking off his clothes for money too. It almost kind of seems commonplace that it's now just sort of like, all right, yeah, it's just what I do to earn some money. Like, I wouldn't do it, but I mean, whatever. So again, live at jbonair.com.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
JB here, back on this Scribble. You listened to that commercial for, what was it, not even 30 seconds. 2 discussion topics have just come during that. 1, do you watch porn with your partner? And 2, if you have made porn and put videos out there, are you upfront about it if you get into a new relationship with somebody? So I'm going to put those 2 questions out there. Again, the email address, live@jbonair.com. So my colleague here, Tim, I shouldn't have named you, but I just did, Tim. Too bad. We have a discussion, and Tim said, well, some people watch porn with their partner before, to get into the mood, or you'll have porn on when you're about to, get it on. And I find that to be weird, because to me, what that is saying is I'm not turned on enough by my partner that I need that outside stimulation, and I would be insulted by that. If my partner had said, hey, let's put on some porn, let's watch some porn to get into the mood, I would be like, well, why isn't just kind of what we're doing together, why do we need a television to, make this happen, kind of a thing. So I don't know about that. I've never watched porn with a partner, so I couldn't tell you. But share your thoughts. Send me an email, live@jbonair.com. Isn't that weird? Tim doesn't have a microphone near him, so I can't hear him through the window. I can hear him in my ears talking to me, but you can't hear him. That's kind of weird, don't you think? You're watching other people have sex to get you in the mood to have sex with somebody. So when you're actually in the motion of it, are you watching it just to light the fire, or are you actually watching it while you're doing this? So in a sense, I guess what I mean is, are you envisioning yourself with the people on the screen? Tim's going to answer me in my ear, and then I will tell you what he says. People get turned on by seeing others having sex and being intimate, so that's what sparks the fire. You aren't necessarily... What did you say? Say the last... all right. You're not necessarily watching as you're... I can't say that word. Okay, so you're setting them... You're getting in the mood by putting on porn and watching with your partner, and that's to light the fire. That's to get things going, and then you just stop paying attention because you're involved. Okay, so there you go. I don't know. Again, I would still sort of think that it's up to each other. It's up to us to kind of get each other in the mood. I would think. I mean, because then I don't know why I'm with you. Then if I'm not turned on and attracted by you, then it's sort of, I need to. That's just weird. I don't know. Who am I to judge? Send me an email, live@jbonair.com. And then the other question that I said was, if you've made porn and you've got videos or what have you out there, is that something that you tell a new partner up front that, hey, I've made these videos, or hey, I've got my own porn channel or porn page or whatever it is? I mean, I guess if it's something that if that's how they met you, then no, obviously they know. I don't know, bringing up your porn past. To me, I would be bothered by it, but again, I'm sort of old school. I think that most people might assume that single guys and gals kind of have those webcam pages or whatever they are now. I'm so out of touch with this whole thing. But the pages where you get, you pay to look at their videos or whatever, I think that it's in that generation, it's almost sort of accepted. So you almost kind of feel like you're not cool if you don't have one of them. But I couldn't be entirely wrong. Again, send me an email, live@jbonair.com, live@jbonair.com. Where are you going to get better relationship and porn discussion and relationship porn discussion? Oh, there's probably tons of podcasts on it, but I'm turning a little bit warm. Not that I'm getting turned on. I just feel embarrassed because, after 15 years on the radio, you sort of dial it back a little bit, right? When you're on traditional radio, and then when it's podcast, it's like I can swear, I can do, Anyway, we'll be right back. Here's a Twitter shout-out.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on The Scribble. Send me your porn. No, I'm kidding. Send me your thoughts live at jbonair.com. I will talk to you same time, same place next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. I'll join you then. Bye-bye for now.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some real heat,